Do you often wonder why it seems like you're running on empty no matter how much sleep you get? Well, you're not alone. Surveys show that on average, adults feel tired for 3 days of the week, and 39% of adults have trouble sleeping. I've been looking into this topic because I suffer from poor sleep, and the more I poked around, the more confusing and sometimes conflicting information I found. For example, there is a pervasive idea that you need 8 hours of sleep every night, or you risk developing all sorts of ailments from cardiovascular disease to Alzheimer's. This all feeds into something called sleep anxiety, which is the feeling of being worried or scared about not getting enough sleep. And rather paradoxically, a large driver of our sleep issues is actually due to sleep anxiety caused by beliefs in various sleep-related myths, which we are going to debunk in this video. So let's get right into it. Myth number 1, you need 8 hours of sleep. This is probably the most pervasive idea out there relating to sleep. While it's important to get sufficient quantity of sleep, this number is just an average. The problem is that this average value is being taken as the optimal value. The amount of sleep you actually need can vary based on your age, gender, and many other variables. For example, teenagers need much more sleep than someone in their 60s. With most of the focus on the quantity of sleep we get, what about the quality? Research shows that the quality of your sleep is just as important, if not more so. The scientific reason behind it lies in the sleep cycles and its effect on your body. During deep restorative sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which aids in repairing muscles and tissue. Additionally, this stage is crucial for robust immune system function, regulating a healthy metabolism, and maintaining good cognitive function and memory consolidation. If you're constantly being interrupted during these phases, your body doesn't have the opportunity to complete these essential processes, leading to fatigue and a sense of unrest. Another fascinating aspect of sleep involves your brain undergoing a detox process. The brain accumulates various metabolic waste products throughout the day. During sleep, the lymphatic system in your brain becomes more active, helping to clear out these potentially harmful substances. The efficient removal of the metabolic waste is crucial for maintaining good cognitive health and preventing the buildup of substances that could contribute to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Think of it as a nightly reset that keeps your brain running optimally. The natural question then is, how does one improve sleep quality? First and foremost, create a relaxing bedtime routine to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. The last thing you want to be doing is a mentally demanding activity right before bedtime. Next, make your bedroom a sleep haven by keeping it cool, dark, and quiet. Your body's core temperature naturally decreases during deep restive sleep. Keeping the room cool anywhere between 60 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 20 degrees Celsius helps facilitate this process and syncs with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Additionally, consider investing in a comfortable mattress and pillows that provide proper support and thermal regulation. Myth number 2, limit your exposure to blue light. There is this notion floating around that blue light tricks your brain into staying awake. From a logical perspective, this makes sense because our circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock, is driven by exposure to light, and blue light is associated with a blue sky during daytime. Sounds convincing, right? Except there isn't much evidence to back up this claim. A study in the National Academy of Sciences asked participants to look at an e-reader at full screen brightness for 4 hours just before bedtime for 5 consecutive nights. This showed statistically that sleep onset among the participants was delayed by 10 minutes, which is meaningless from a biological standpoint. But there is a different reason why exposure to light before bedtime is detrimental to restive sleep. In our modern tech-driven world, the constant need to be connected and productive at all hours of the day can have a profound impact on a concept known as sleep pressure. Sleep pressure is the natural buildup of the need for sleep as you stay awake throughout the day. The longer you're awake, the higher your sleep pressure becomes, making you feel more and more tired. A good example of sleep pressure is the sensation of not being able to keep your eyes open when you're tired. It's the feeling of being able to doze off right then and there. The pressure gets released when you fall asleep. Using smartphones, tablets, and laptops before bedtime can suppress the physiological signs of sleep pressure and tricks your brain into staying awake. And this results in poor sleep quality and increased feelings of tiredness. So what can you do about this? I think you know the answer. Establish a digital curfew at least an hour before bedtime. This means putting away your cell phone and engaging in calming activities like reading a book or taking a warm bath. If you must use your devices close to bedtime, consider dimming the screen brightness and turning on night mode setting, which is available on most devices. These adjustments can help signal to your body that it's time to prepare for sleep. Myth number 3. You should wake up at the same time every day. Well, you should try to wake up at the same time or a similar time every day. This is because your body has a natural circadian rhythm, which is like an internal clock that tells you when to sleep and when to wake up. Ideally, it's telling you to sleep when it's dark outside and wake up when there's daylight. Every cell in your body is calibrating its activities to your circadian rhythm. And this keeps your body and mind running like a well-oiled machine. Going to sleep and waking up at similar times helps to maintain the accuracy of this internal clock. But that doesn't mean you need to stick to it religiously. There's no long-term detriment if you go off schedule and stay past midnight every now and then. After all, what's the point of all of this if you can't enjoy life? On the flip side, let's say you're burning the candle from both ends for an extended number of days. You're waking up early and going to bed late. The argument that you can catch up on lost sleep during the weekend with a late lie-in is not entirely true. When you don't get enough sleep, your body accumulates a sleep debt. But your body wants to wake up and go to sleep at similar times, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. By sleeping in late during the weekend, you are not paying off that debt entirely. Oversleeping can also throw off your body's internal clock. It's like a temporary reset button, but your body prefers consistency. So that extra sleep might not fully recharge your battery. It's more like an 80% recharge. You are better off regulating your work schedule to accommodate better sleep rather than trying to catch up on lost sleep later on. Myth number 4. Caffeine doesn't affect my sleep. Whether it's that morning cup of coffee or an afternoon energy boost, caffeine plays a significant role in our lives. And to state the obvious, I think we all know that caffeine just before bedtime is a recipe for poor sleep. But there's always someone out there who claims that caffeine has no impact on their sleep. But study after study has debunked this claim. This is because caffeine is a stimulant that affects the central nervous system by blocking the action of adenosine, which is a neurotransmitter in your brain that promotes your need for sleep. By inhibiting adenosine, caffeine promotes alertness and temporarily wards off fatigue. Caffeine can also affect the architecture of your sleep. Studies have shown that it may reduce the amount of deep sleep, which is crucial for physical restoration and memory consolidation. So for those of you in the caffeine has no impact camp, while you may not have had trouble falling asleep, the overall quality of your sleep may be compromised. For the rest of us, consuming caffeine too close to bedtime can interfere with the natural onset of sleep. Think back to the discussion earlier about sleep pressure. So right about now, I can hear some of you go, but I have my last coffee at 4 p.m. I should be okay. Except you aren't. The half-life of caffeine, which is the time it takes your body to eliminate half of the caffeine in your system, is typically 5 hours. So if your last coffee was at 4 p.m., half of that caffeine is still in your system at 10 p.m. So what can you do to have your coffee and get good sleep? Well, it's all about timing. Drink all your caffeinated beverages before 1 p.m. and then stay hydrated throughout the day. That gives your body ample time to remove the caffeine by bedtime. Myth number 5. If you're tired during the day, you didn't get enough sleep. As humans, we are logical creatures. So if we feel tired, it must be because we did a lot of work that day or we didn't get enough sleep the night before, right? By now, you know where this is heading. We all know that our bodies are not machines that can do work non-stop, but not keeping them active can also be bad. Let me explain. Our bodies are designed for movement. Physical activity is like an energy booster, enhancing blood flow, oxygenating tissues, and promoting the release of endorphins, those feel-good hormones. While we're inactive for extended amounts of time, the opposite happens. When you're inactive, blood circulation and oxygen delivery to various parts of your body become less efficient. This can lead to a drop in energy levels as your cells receive less oxygen, reducing their ability to produce the energy needed for optimal functioning. Inactivity can also impact the quality of your sleep. Regular physical activity has been shown to promote better sleep by helping regulate sleep patterns and promoting relaxation. Conversely, a lack of activity can contribute to restlessness and difficulty falling asleep. If you have a desk job, make a conscious effort to stand up, stretch, move around at regular intervals. To break up long periods of sitting, consider incorporating short bursts of activity like taking the stairs or going for a quick walk. Physical activity not only boosts your energy but also improves sleep quality and overall well-being. So find activities that you enjoy and make them a priority in your daily routine. I mostly work from home, so to incorporate movement into my day, I got myself a standing desk. And honestly, it's one of the best purchases I've made. I feel less lethargic through the day, and my afternoon energy crash is less severe. My research to find good scientific data on this topic led me to Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep. The author has been on multiple podcasts and is a wealth of information that is grounded in science. I encourage you to read his book or watch the many videos on YouTube where he dives into a lot more detail. Links to some videos in the description below. On a final note, for some people, poor sleep is unfortunately a genetic factor. For example, snoring, sleep apnea, and thyroid levels can have a direct impact on the quality of your sleep. If you suspect any of these factors, please consult your doctor. With that said, let me know what you thought of this video. This is the first of many in a series focused on productivity, so any feedback would be greatly appreciated. As always, if you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.